From their 19th century origins in Upper Manhattan, the Giants are one of baseball's oldest franchises. During their historic run in New York City, memorable players provided magical moments and 5 World Series championships. The San Francisco Giants return to their franchise roots now, and after an extra inning win last night, they look to make it 2 in a row over the Mets. Game 2 is coming up next. It is another beautiful day in the big city. The Giants and the Mets at Citi Field, ready for Game 2 of their 4-game series. Welcome to NBC Sports Bay Area, powered by Xfinity. Hello, everyone. I'm John Miller with Javier Lopez. Dave Fleming will also be here in the middle innings. Mike Krukow and Dwayne Kuiper are on assignment. The Giants played deep into the night last night, but it ended up being worth it because they won the ball game in an unlikely way. But the bullpen did go 8 strong innings, shutting out the Mets to make it all possible. Now it will be Chris Stratton activated from the minor league roster, and he will make the start. He's up against Steven Matz, and both of these guys have been sort of enigmas for their respective rotations. Both of them should be doing better than they are. And Matz is a guy who's got great stuff. What's happening with him?
Well, it doesn't look like he's, since coming off the DL, he's not throwing the slider very often, and he's usually that's one of the bigger weapons for him. But all he needs to do is the first inning. That's kind of the issue with him. He's got almost a 9 ERA in that inning, and if the Giants want to get going, they got to do it early against Matz. That's the 3rd worst ERA going in the first inning, and he hasn't had 2 quality outings in a while, so you hope that the Giants got a little bit of momentum from last night's luck and see if they can get on this guy early. He's facing nothing but right-handed lineup from the Giants tonight.
Now, Posey is out after catching 13 innings. Crawford and Belt also out, and Joe Panic as well, as they go with all the right-handers against the left-handed Mats. Now stay tuned. We'll be taking you to our NBC Sports Bay Area studios for an update, and then back with the ball game right after this.
Bay Area is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Low fares, no hidden fees. That's transparency. And by Jack in the Box. Try something different, like Jack's Teriyaki Bowls. Only at Jack in the Box for a limited time.
It's another beautiful night here in New York for Game 2 of this 4-game series, and there is Steven Matz on the mound, taking his final warm-ups for the Mets. Game time weather presented by the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk. Get to the beach. The admission-free boardwalk is open daily. 70. Well, here it says 75, there it says 79, so somewhere in there. It's beautiful. Take my word for it. The wind's out of the southeast at 10 miles per hour. The humidity, it's humid, 73%. The forecast, mostly cloudy, but no rain in the forecast. Now the Giants batting order presented by Southwest Airlines. It'll be McCutchen in right, Chase Darno at second, hitting .333 against lefties with 3 homers for the Giants. Longoria at third, Huntley the cleanup hitter, the catcher, Slater at first, and here's the first pitch, and that is in there for a called strike. The official game time temperature is 75 degrees. They've just announced as we start right on time. Off the inside for a ball. The Giants, we mentioned Slater hitting 5th, Pence hitting 6th, Hernandez 7th in center, Hanson hitting 8th at short, and Stratton is the pitcher. McCutchen .354 on base average, and that slider is low for a ball. 2 balls and a strike. There is a lot of wind here in Queens right now. And what there is of it, according to the flags out above the right field stands, is blowing out toward left field. And you see the flags, the Mets World Series championship flags from 1969 and 1986. Popped up along the right field side, and that will reach back into the seats.
Pitching for the Mets, it's Steven Matz. You see there coming on 23rd start of the year. The numbers are not what you wanted. He started off real hot. He's had a real tough second half. Has battled through some injury, but he's got that live fastball you've already seen hit 95 and 96 miles an hour.
Look out. Man, McCutchen got one of those last night in the 13th inning. The inning, in fact, it was on ball 4. He ended up scoring the winning run later in that inning.
Yes, against that velocity, and Matz wasn't trying to do that on purpose there, just trying to get that fastball located in. McCutchen, quick reaction. Dusting himself off and getting ready for another fastball.
Full count to Andrew McCutchen.
Matz going back to the rosin bag, get a little better grip.
And that is high and tight, ball 4.
Well, let's see what Matz is doing. You see he's going to see lots of fastballs, especially that glove side fastball to a lot of these righties, since that's all he's facing today. The curveball is the big pitch for him. He's got to be able to locate that and get that going. But he's had a little bit of health issues with the elbow, so we'll see how that goes today. But he has had a rough first inning. He's got a 9 ERA in the first inning, 22 runs in 21 2/3 innings. And so if the Giants want to get going, they want to get on top of him early.
Chase Darno, who's done so well against lefties. And that's a called strike on the outside. You see those numbers in the first inning. After the first inning, his ERA is much more normal, 3.48. Oh, 2. That was a tough pitch to hit. He tried to do it. So he's behind to the count, 0-2. The Giants, of course, conversely, first inning has not been a good inning for them all too often.
And it's true, they've only scored 5 first inning runs in 28 games since the All-Star break.
And that is low. And what's more, it's often they don't get a hit in the first inning, much less a run. They've had a lot of games they don't get a hit till the 4th or 5th inning.
And as it's bearing out so far on this road trip, they're not scoring till very late in the ball game. A lot of the runs are coming 7th inning and after.
And that was exactly the way it worked last night. They got their first run of the 7th and the winning run of the 13th. McCutchen back to the bag at first. McCutchen leads the Giants with 11 steals. Flores on the bag with him. The middle infielders double play depth. The second baseman McNeil well over toward the middle though. The outfield straight away. And he struck him out.
Let's take a look at the Mets defense behind Mats this evening. In Flushing from left to right in the outfield, Conforto, Jackson, Batista. Left side of the infield will be Reyes and Rosario. On the right side, McNeil and Flores, and Kevin Plawecki will be doing the catching.
Evan Longoria now. Longoria anxious to get his bat going. The power hitter. Big home run and RBI man in his many years in the American League, an all-star, Gold Glove winner, and his first year in a uniform other than that of the Tampa Bay Rays. He's got 12 homers, only a .246 average, and his OPS, which most of his years has been well north of 800, has just fallen below 700. Only 699, which is really kind of shocking. 2-0 or 3-0. I beg your pardon.
Yeah, Chad Woodson not having that one. And this pitchcast brought to you by SoFi Modern Finance Company. He hits the strike zone, but doesn't get it. 3-0 hack.
That ball is hit deep into left center field, and forget about it. Way out of here. A 2-run homer for Longoria, and that was spectacular. A tape measure home run here at Citi Field. That would have been a home run in the old configuration when the ballpark first opened, when it was one of the most difficult home run parks in the game. Wow.
Just what we were talking about, that first inning runs get on top of Mats early. Look at the big smile on the big fella. Bochy excited. Probably nobody more excited than that man right there. 3-0, bell high fastball, stays on top of it, gets some good backspin on it, drives it out of here. And he's got a big smile on his face. He's been waiting on that one for a long time.
That went high above the 370-foot marker out there, past the added little seating area, and then way up into the seats where you had to hit it formally to get a home run. 13th homer, 42 RBIs now for Longoria. There you get a look at it. And that's too high. To Nick Hundley, 247 average, 296 on base with 9 home runs. Pop up, foul, and into the Mets dugout. McCutchen got the walk to start the inning, and then with one out, Longoria planted one. That was one of those aesthetically pleasing home runs.
Had nice sound too.
3-2 now to Hundley.
And Mats is just having trouble commanding the zone. He's all over the place right now, just trying to find a groove. He's a big guy. It takes a little bit sometimes.
Back to the screen.
But it has been a tale of two halves for him. Throwing the ball real well before the break, and then since then just having to try to find his way. He had 3.38 ERA in the first half.
Hundley hanging tough. And he struck him out. The high hard one.
Let's take a look at the StatCast AI powered by AWS and just listen to that one. This is John's favorite segment right there, watching the 102.5 off the bat. Nice play out there by the fan as well.
I don't see 389. Ball went just to the left of the 370 sign. They're saying that's he just went 19 feet past it.
Wow.
I don't want to say anything, but that is absolutely wrong. Check swing by Slater. Foul ball. Slater he's hurting for a hit right now. Longoria talking it over with Buster Posey. His 13th home run of the year. Giants have a 2-0 lead here in the first. Maybe he's telling Buster that. No way that was 389. And that's a little bit high. One and two the count. This will be Matz's 27th pitch. Softly bounced to second. McNeil, and the inning is over. But the Giants jump ahead. Evan Longoria. Tell it bye-bye, baby, as Russ Hodges used to say. 2-0 Giants. Chris Stratton will take them out when we come back. Last half of the first inning. Let's take a look at the Mets batting order now. Brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Rosario, the rookie, at short. McNeil, another rookie, at second. Wilmer Flores, the veteran, at first. Last 7 games against the Giants, he's had 17 hits, 3 of them last night, a .548 batting average. Michael Conforto, the leading home run hitter for the Mets. On the active roster, left field, Austin Jackson, the former Giant, at center. Bautista in right, hitting 6th. Plawecki, the catcher. Jose Reyes, the veteran, at 3rd, and Steven Matz, the pitcher, bats 9th.
And taking the mound for the San Francisco Giants tonight, fresh off the call-up, making his 20th start on the year, Chris Stratton. As you look at the numbers overall, not what you're used to seeing.
Strike one call on the outside.
But since being down in the minor leagues, he's been able to make some adjustments mechanically, trying to stay through the ball, hide the ball a little bit better.
0-2.
And his numbers have shown that in his last 2 starts.
And it got him to chase that one. Strike 3.
Take a look at the stats or the starts that I was talking about right there. 7 innings, 6 innings, those 5 hits, just 1 run allowed, 1 walk, the 8 strikeouts. Really throwing the ball well, throwing it efficiently. And it was just a mechanical adjustment that he had to make. I think he felt he was showing the ball a little bit too soon to these hitters, and they're seeing him for a lot longer. But now he's tried to hide a little bit better, keep it behind his head and keep it behind the glove, and stay directional through the catcher. And that'll really show itself with the curveball, because he's got a nasty one. And if it's diving straight 12-6, it's going to be a nice night for Chris Stratton.
Jeff McNeil at the plate now. Strike one. And he blew it by him. Well, he's so far throwing all strikes here. The Giants now they reshuffle the overshift. Now Longoria is the second baseman. Hansen back at shortstop. Darno's out in shallow right. And he's off the inside. And you see how they're playing it. Slater deep at first, and that's Darno. What is he? 25 feet into the outfield. He's way out there. Way out. I invented a word. He's way out there. Hansen quickly, not in time.
Well, we're going to look at the defense behind Chris Stratton tonight for the San Francisco Giants, starting in the outfield from left to right. There'll be old Hunter Pence out there. Gorkys, Hernandez, and McCutchen on the left side of the infield. Longoria and Hansen on the right side. Darno, Slater, and Nick Hundley will be doing the catching. Good speed by McNeil. Get down that line.
He looks like a guy who will get a lot of infield hits based on that one. And that's a called strike. Wilmer Flores, a Giants nemesis, and that just barely missed. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Stratton's going to throw a lot of 2-seam, 4-seam at you. He can get the ground ball, as you saw with McNeil. Take another look at this fastball here, trying to paint it away. Well done. I think he throws it back out there. He's going to get that call.
Slider misses. 2-1.
That's a good bite on the breaking ball. Really doing a nice job finishing through the catcher, staying on balance.
Conforto, a left-handed hitter, is on deck. And a foul. 2-2. That was off Hundley. Seems to be okay. That ball, it ricocheted off Hundley and into the back of the infield, and Stratton was the one who retrieved it.
Yeah, that'll wake you up.
Mr. Posey, he knows how that feels. 2-2 the count. Middle infielders pulled in a bit, double play depth. And a high pop-up. Shallow right center, and nobody catches it. That was unbelievable. The center fielder, Hernandez, never saw it at the beginning in the twilight. And I don't know, it looked like McCutchen was striding in to save the day on it, because he was there, and then he didn't catch it either.
Yeah, it looks like he was just explaining right there. He thought he saw Chase's hand coming out. That's what your infielder's got to do. You got to flash for the ball, and I think that's what he's saying, is that I got it. Instead, he's pointing to the sky, but he thought he was flashing that he got it, sticking his hand out. And you look at McCutchen kind of letting it go, and then he just checks Chase, sees he's not there. And when you're hot for Flores.
That was a pop-up, and ordinarily that's an out, but he gets a hit. Here is Conforto. Nice break there for the Mets. Man, pop-ups have not been easily handled in this series.
That's a tough sky right now, too. I can see why Gorkys had a little bit of trouble, but you don't really often see 3 guys miss it.
Gorkys was never really on the play. This could be 2. Darno to second, 1. Hansen to first. A double play, and the inning is over. So Stratton took the heat off everybody there. No matter, I'll get a ground ball. We'll go back to the dugout. By BioFreeze, cool the pain. Last night, Derek Holland, he ended up with no decision, but pitched into the 6th inning, 5+, allowed 4 hits, 1 run with 1 walk and 5 strikeouts. The pitch count got him ultimately. He left with a couple of men on and was at 102 pitches for the game. Now we resume with tonight's game. The Giants ahead 2-0, and there's a called strike to Hunter Pence. One ball, 1 strike now to Pence. Now foul out of play. John Shea of the San Francisco Chronicle is reporting, we've just seen online, that it's possible that Buster Posey will have season-ending hip surgery. There's a ball down and away. He quoted Brian Sabian as saying, quote, "I'd say that's a safe assumption." Bounced foul as he got a piece of it. 2-2 the count. Also, Bruce Bochy was quoted saying, "I'll be honest with you, we have discussed that. We've talked about it. Nothing's been determined yet because we want him ready for next year. We're discussing that now." And that's fouled out of play. Posey was also quoted in the article saying, "It's something that obviously bugs me still, which I deal with. It's better some days than others. Some days it's cranky." That's a foul. He says 13 innings isn't the best for it. Right now we're going day to day. We'll see where we're at tomorrow and the next day.
It's a lot of good quotes there from some high-ranking officials.
It's a story. We just happened to see it on the Twitter from John Shea of the Chronicle. Buster was quoted as saying by John Shea, "You know me pretty well, and I don't want to make any excuses for anything. It's been something I've kind of pushed through and played through a little bit." On the 9th pitch of the battle, Pence put the ground ball to short. Rosario throws him out. 1 away.
Well, you got to figure out where you're at in the race at this point in time. You got to not only, if you're trying to win a division, I think you're 7.5 back coming into the game. You still got to leapfrog 3 teams. You got to look towards 2019, and
well, and he did quote Brian Sabian about that, and said that the Giants' standing right now in the pennant race is strike 1 to Gorkis Hernandez in the foul. He said that's not going to be the overriding factor. His well-being, present and future, more so future, is in our best interests. He's our franchise player. It's not going to make any difference where we are in the standings because it's been debilitating for him to this point, which does, you kind of read through the lines there, you think, well, probably maybe sooner rather than later then. Little soft roller to second. McNeil. Gorkis is out number 2. So that's in the San Francisco Chronicle online right now. John Shea. And it does make sense if the idea is getting back healthy and ready to go and have that all fixed for next year. You would think time is of the essence.
I think you definitely have to do it, especially when you're dealing with a hip. I've had other teammates of mine go through that, and it's somewhat of a lengthy rehab process, just trying to get everything going. And any extra days and weeks and months you can add to that rehab, the better off you're going to be.
So reported by John Shea in the Chronicle. You might want to check it out. 2-1 the count to Alan Hansen, switch hitter, batting right-handed. Evan Longoria hit a 2-run homer in the first, and that changeup into right center. Bautista, and the Giants are gone in order. 2-0 Giants. Austin Jackson will be coming up.
is brought to you by Kona Brewing Company. Enjoy a big wave golden ale or longboard lager today.
Ciao, Giants fans. This Friday, the Giants will be back home taking on the Rangers, and that will be Italian Heritage Night presented by Gelati Construction Company. There's a special event package including an Italia Giants t-shirt and access to the Italian Heritage pregame party. And, of course, your ticket to see the Giants and Rangers interleague game. Go to sfgiants.com/special events. And don't miss Italian Heritage Night on Friday at AT&T Park. Here's Austin Jackson leading off for the Mets against Chris Stratton. And it's a little bit low for ball one. Giants ahead 2-0. And that drops in there neatly for a called strike at 83 miles an hour. A little break to it. That is a foul off the right field line. Well down the line, but very much foul.
Stratton doing a great job commanding the zone, throwing strikes. Not only with the fastball, though primarily with that pitch right now, but being able to locate in and out right now very, very well as you look at some of the Giants fans getting some snacks.
And that slider in the dirt. New ball put in play. 2-2 the count. Ooh, that could have been called a strike, and on appeal, no swing.
Chad Whitson not liking this one. Not sure where it missed.
So maybe for him it was a little too high. Maybe looked like it was right over the plate though. Hansen got him anyway.
Let's look at the smart play. It's brought to you by your Northern California Ford dealers, and it came last night, bottom of the 8th. Melanson strikes out Frazier, and Posey throws out Jackson for an inning-ending double play. America's favorite double play. John didn't think so, so I went ahead and said it's my favorite double play. And it's Buster Posey doing what Buster Posey does.
So, no, I didn't say that it wasn't. I just wondered how you knew that.
You were suggesting that it wasn't America's favorite double play.
I was pleased to find it out. Alan Hansen and Bautista was not moving that quickly on that one. And that ball would not hit very hard, but he wasn't just walking up the line, but he was not running hard. You wonder if he's okay. Or if he's just, hey, he's 37 years old.
I think it's the 37 frustrated first pitch swing rollover. Exit velocity on that? Did we get that?
66 miles per hour.
66.
So 2 down, couple of ground balls fielded by the shortstop. Here's Plawecki, the catcher, and that's a called strike. Bruce Bochy was talking about Stratton before the game. He's had a hard time controlling his curveball and changeup, and so nobody swings at him. And then he's also had a hard time getting that fastball where he wants to get it, which is, I think, also something you were talking about. But tonight he's throwing a lot of fastballs, and he seems to having them go into the spot where he wants them mostly.
Well, he's staying behind that front shoulder. It's not flying open right there. It stays closed and kind of driving back down towards his thigh. I think he had a tendency during some of his rougher starts where it would kind of fly open, almost like a swinging gate kind of situation. Then you're showing the ball the entire time. This time he's just kind of setting it as a target and going straight downhill with it.
3-1 now to Plawecki. Catcher, former first-round draft choice. He was actually drafted in the supplemental round, which is considered part of the first round 6 years ago, out of Purdue. So former Boilermaker. Hansen back to his feet in the dirt and picked clean by Slater. Well done on both ends of that one to take one away from Plawecki.
Just tied a record.
3 ground balls fielded by Hansen and 3 assists.
Sports Bay Area is brought to you by Redwood Credit Union. Redwood Credit Union offers full-service banking for all that you love. Federally insured by NCUA.
We're in the big city of New York. And it is 2-0, the Giants leading the Mets. Did you go out with your phone camera and make some little videos to run in tonight? Good job if you did.
Absolutely. Those are all my shots.
Beautiful.
You didn't know that?
So talented.
Yeah. Jump on a boat. Got back here in time.
Chris Stratton. And quickly he's behind 0-2 against Steven Matz. The Giants ahead 2-0 in the third. Andrew McCutchen is on deck. I like to go down to the South Street Seaport. There's a free ferry down there, like a water taxi. That's off the outside. And it takes you across over to Red Hook to IKEA, the store, the big furniture store.
I put many an IKEA thing together and broken it.
Well, I don't go to the IKEA. That's
well,
a
why
swing.
would you? Why would you? You can afford real furniture.
Put it together. What?
Yeah, exactly.
I don't want to put it together.
College life.
1 out. McCutchen coming up.
Well, the New York Mets take on the Giants Friday the 31st through September 2nd, Labor Day weekend. On Sunday the 2nd, the series concludes with Buster Posey socks for the first 20,000 fans presented by Toyota. Buy directly from the Giants at sfgiants.com.
So the Mets coming into San Francisco. That's the start of Labor Day weekend when they'll be there. There's a called strike to McCutchen, who walked starting off the game. That started a 2-run rally for the Giants, but Longoria eventually hit a long home run to knock him in. 2-0 Giants, third inning. Oh, that one fooled him. That was a very, very late swing.
Yeah. You're entitled to a few of those.
But I don't.
You always call those a setup swing. That's all. I
don't go to the IKEA. It's a free boat ride in New York Harbor, and I like to do it because they had the passenger ship terminal over there in Red Hook. Sometimes the Queen Mary II is in town, which is.
You've been on it, haven't you?
Absolutely. Transatlantic. And it's kind of a fun way to see it when it's in port. McCutchen called out on strikes.
On a questionable pitch. Ball up in the zone, up and in. You've seen Chad Whitson not call this pitch tonight, and that's a better job of catching than the execution.
Well, we just saw him not call a pitch similar to that to Plawecki. There was more a strike than that one. There's Whitson behind the plate. Lance Barrett at first. Tony Randazzo at second. Brian Onora, the crew chief, at third. Ball 1 to Darno, who struck out his first time.
You've never put an IKEA piece together? Come on.
Oh, I've done stuff like that.
Yeah, I was going to say. It's a rite of passage, I think, for everyone.
I've spent hours, because it takes hours just to get all the little screws. Okay,
you got to put up your. Right.
This is this kind of screw, but then there's that.
And you got to count them up, make sure you got all the parts. Allen wrenches out the yin yang.
And then at some point, I just gave that up.
Just a hot glue gun and hope for the best.
Sorry,
some super glue.
I believe I can't do this now. I've got to go on a road trip.
That's your assignment. There you go.
Yeah.
Next time you're on assignment, I want a chair.
All right. If it was anybody else. 3-1 the count to Darno. Take the free ferry over to IKEA.
Look at the Queen Mary 2 if it's there.
It'll be there on Sunday. We won't be here. 3-2 now. And he chased there on 3-1. It could have been ball 4, but either way, not really a pitch to hit. Although a lot of times he seems like he likes those pitches away to try to punch him into right field, which he does well. That's along the right field line. Bautista, and the inning is over. That's 8 in a row retired by Matz. The Giants lead though 2-0 after 2.5. Last night, 1-1 tie, and a pop-up by Brandon Crawford, and just as you're saying, oh no, a pop-up, this happened. Rosario, the shortstop, was run into by Smith, the left fielder. One rookie crashing into another, and that turned into what proved to be the winning run. Back to action here. Reyes, first ball swinging, hits a ground ball to Darno, and he is promptly thrown out, 1 away. Dwayne Kuiper and Mike Krukow on assignment, except if you're wondering where they're out in the left field stands.
Look at them
here at Citi Field.
Yeah, looking sharp. That guy brought his best buds with him.
Just me and Kruk and Kuiper.
I mean, you can't even buy him a drink or anything. He's just
like he bought him each a seat too.
Yeah, can't buy him a drink. What's going on here?
Steven Matz. Yeah, he brought them last night to the game.
Sure did.
2-0 Giants, last of the third. And Stratton a little bit low on outside. Stratton was so good first 6-8 weeks of the season.
Really good.
When the Giants pitching rotation was decimated with injury, he was at one time he was the best. He was the ace of that rotation for a good long while. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
He's had those outings where he's punched out 10 plus. I mean, he's got the stuff to pitch in this league and pitch effectively.
2-2. Stratton's like, wait a minute. Nobody played umpire the first base. Nobody's going to call that a strike. High and foul.
Well, just what John was talking about, those first 5 starts just lights out. You look at the opponent batting average on the fastball in particular, 169 versus 310. And you look at the curveball effectiveness. The guys were hitting 200 off it in those first 5 starts and over 300 last time. And that's one of the good pictures of the mechanics that he was trying to fix up a little bit. You can see the left shoulder flying open just a little bit. That's showing a lot of the baseball. Here tonight he's trying to just stay behind that lead arm and drive downhill, and he's done a good job of that.
That's a foul ball. Still 3-2.
And it's a good indication he's got 6, besides the infield base hit, he's got that, if you count that, he's got 6 ground balls.
That ball is hit well. Deep left center. Pence still going back. Makes the catch with his back to the infield.
Little Willie Mays right there. Over the shoulder. Do it in New York. Why not? Pay homage when homage is due. I mean, look at it. He knew he had it the whole time. He knew he had it the whole time.
And he lost his hat just like Willie Mays.
Just like Willie.
At the old Polo Grounds, 1954 World Series, Game 1. Willie Mays made a play that was referred to as the catch for a long, long time afterward. And I think many who saw it still believe it was the greatest catch in World Series history. That ball hit by Rosario, but to the big part of the yard. A more conventional catch there by Hernandez. Dave Fleming will be over for the 4th inning. Longoria coming up. It's 2-0 Giants.
And the man that has finally made his way down from Williamsport.
Yep.
Dave Fleming in the house. What do you think of that last catch, Hunter Pence doing
well,
that? Willie
in
Mays.
New York, it's only fitting, right? We're not quite next door to the Polo Grounds like Yankee Stadium, but still.
That was awesome.
That was about as close. Now, look, context and maybe degree of difficulty a little different. But that was a true Willie Mays style catch. I mean, sometimes we say that, and it's not really exactly the way that Willie did it. Evan Longoria to center field for out number 1. But that one actually was, and I loved it.
Hey, he didn't look at him. He has no idea, too. That's the best part. That's why I love Hunter. He's got just the chest out, letting everybody know I had it the whole way. Actually, not really kidding around. Threw the glove out there, got it. Except he didn't have to turn around and fire it in because who was at second base? Larry Doby. I think he had to make sure he got it in before because he could run a little bit. Larry Doby. See, he knew he had it the whole way.
You know, you talk to Willie, and we talk to Willie a lot about that catch, about that play. First of all, Willie says, I made a bunch that were tougher than that in my career, which he did. And he always said that the throw was the most important and what he thought was the most difficult part of that play.
He had to get the ball in. Wotus yet again making a good choice, not trying to make the play.
Don't be a hero, Ron. Never boring, Hunter Pence.
Look, I mean, pecs out. Love it.
How many buttons are down there?
At least 2, hopefully 3 at this point. Pants up, way up.
You think there is a MLB uniform directive? Is there a rule?
Yeah, they tell Hunter Pence, be you and look super sweet, and he's nailing it right now.
Hundley, that's not going to be an easy play, but Matz is a good fielding pitcher, and he gets him. Well, he's playing shallow because it's the pitcher, right?
That's how you draw it up.
Pretty impressive. 89 feet cover. That's a lot of feet. He had to go a long way back and completely blind over the shoulder, basket style, hat flying off, buttons open.
Got to sell the sizzle, and he did it. Anybody can just make the catch. It's how you make the catch.
Well, if that's the case, then that's the catch of the year.
And that's why he's got to get up this inning, because when you do something like that, you usually hit a dinger.
Well, let's see if Slater can get him to the plate. Come on, Austin. Oh, we might as well just go one more button down. That is, the shirt's almost off at this point. That might be 3 buttons down.
That's awesome.
If he would ever stay still, maybe we could actually see.
No, that will never happen.
That won't happen.
Look, he's got the forearms bulging. He's ready. He's hungry. Let him eat. Come on, Slater.
This is the most pressure-filled at bat of the year for Austin Slater. Ice water.
And he's a guy that's looking to get some run too. Slater hasn't had a whole lot of opportunities. Been pressing a little bit in some of the limited at bats he's getting.
Well, that's probably not going to do it, Austin Jackson, unless he falls down, and he won't. So we'll have to wait for Hunter Pence to come up in the 5th inning, and he will. Giants lead 2-0.
finish came last night off the right hand here. Derek Law got the win, or as I'd like to call the win save. Went 2 innings, no hits, no runs, 2 walks, and a K, 35 pitches. You see all these guys exhausted, happy finish and a great start to a series. Derek Law doing work.
So you've put some thought into this. We should have a new bullpen statistic.
In certain situations, you need something to take to arbitration. You can't blow the save, get the win, go back and save it. Like he came in, tie ball game, got the win, and then he has to close it out. Win save. I don't know what you get for that. It just sounds cool.
So like in certain instances, you could not create a new one. Maybe you could just give him a win and a save.
And the save, yes. Exactly right.
Jeff McNeil, he's doing his best Ichiro impression, isn't he? He slapped one on the ground for an infield hit his first time up, and that was almost Ichiro style there. He's got 2 of the 3 Mets hits.
He's had at least 1 hit in his last 7 starts. He was hitting 344, and during that stretch, and he's just adding to that. We got a Friends fan singing that.
I thought he would be too young to know that theme song.
He's well versed.
It is an actual song, so maybe he just knows it from.
How couldn't even tell you sings
Spotify? Oh, neither could I.
Somebody will tell us, I'm sure.
Here's Wilmer Flores.
Pretenders? It's a guess.
No, that is a no. I don't know who sings it. I know it ain't the Pretenders.
It's worth a shot.
Wilmer. He has the other Mets hit. Chris Stratton, though, pitching well. That one hit to right. McCutchen. 1 away. What did you have a theory? I was talking to myself over on the radio side. Did you have a theory?
What did you think
as to what happened with McCutchen and that little pop-up?
Yeah, I do think when Chase ran out, because Gorky's didn't see it. Chase runs out, and as he's pointing up, most infielders kind of have their hand out. Hey, I got it. And I think McCutchen picked up on his hand being out, thinking he had it. Next thing you know, he makes eye contact, and they're both staring at each other. And I think that's what happened. He just saw the hand go up, not knowing that he was pointing out the ball.
So now Conforto, and he takes a strike. We had Michael Conforto on the air with us in Williamsport on Sunday when the Mets and the Phillies visited the Little League World Series complex and hung out with the kids before playing the Little League Classic later that night on Sunday night. And we show Michael, because Michael played in the Little League World Series and had not been back to Williamsport since this past Sunday. So it was cool for him, I think, to come back. And we showed a clip. He had hit a home run in Williamsport as a kid.
Not seen many of those this year.
There goes the runner, McNeil. Hundley's throw. Good one. Tag. Out. Nice throw. 2 down.
In Williamsport, I mean. Conforto's got plenty of them.
Correct,
but I'm just saying. Look at Hundley. Quick exchange. Strike throw to Hansen. Easy tag. And McNeil can run a little bit. And he got him by plenty.
Yeah, good throw.
Nice job.
So 2 down. And Conforto takes a big cut. Michael Conforto's swing as a little leaguer looks almost exactly like his swing as a big leaguer. It was really fun to see. We actually showed him that replay of his old Little League home run. He's like, man, I need to get in the video room. I could probably learn from that swing. Had a few laughs about it. He strikes out swinging here. Good pitch from Stratton. Well, you won't want to miss Hunter Pence leading off in the 5th inning. He might come to the bat shirtless. We'll see. Certainly one of the great moments in New York baseball history. World Series 1954 game one, the catch, 455 to straightaway center at the Polo Grounds tonight. Is this a recreation? I don't know. Maybe not quite, but still pretty darn impressive. And Hunter goes after that first pitch. He is still wearing his uniform. Strike one to Hunter Pence here in the 5th inning. 2-0 Giants. It was a spectacular catch by Hunter.
Oof. Good effort by Plawecki to try to make a play there.
Just let it go.
Yep.
Hunter takes outside. 2-1. Well, with the hitting prowess of Hunter Pence and the power we still see every day in batting practice, it is hard to believe he still just got the one home run. Remember that back in Seattle?
It's in there. It is in there.
It's in there.
Maybe that's why he's unbuttoned it so much, so he can get it out of there.
Let it out. Full count, 3-2. Rosario out number 1. So not this time for Hunter Pence. Well, we've been talking about it. Letters to 87, a special tribute to 49ers legend Dwight Clark, presented by Toyota. Just a tremendous program tonight after Giants postgame live. We hope you don't miss it on NBC Sports Bay Area. We think it's one of the best things we have produced, and just well worth your time. A tremendous tribute to a Bay Area sports icon, Dwight Clark.
Without question, the catch. You didn't have to be in the Bay Area to know what that is. When somebody mentions that, you know what it is. That's awesome.
As Joe Montana said at the service for Dwight Clark, they didn't call it the pass. 1-1.
Good change up there. Giants looking to add on. You don't want to coast here on a 2-0 lead. You want to add on when you can. Don't let them get in a groove.
How many hits do the Giants have?
We don't mention that.
Okay. That'd be 1.
It's not the amount of hits. It's what you do with the hits.
That's true.
It's
Make
the
them
damage.
count.
It's the damage with the hits.
I think Bruce Bochy will take fewer hits, more runs any day. Good hitters count here for Gorkys Hernandez. He's got 13 home runs. Did not get a 3-1 fastball.
That's a good pitch. Down and in.
He blasts that one to left. Sprinting back Conforto. He's not going to get it. One hop against the wall. Gorkys to second, in there easily.
Great throw by Conforto to make that close.
Was I a little overstating it when I said he was in there easily?
Oh, no, he was in there easy, but hey, show it off. Why not? You got it. Go for it.
Yeah, he can run a little bit, Conforto, and can throw.
Plays the Karen perfectly. Doesn't even step into this throw. Just kind of back foots it and chest high rocket. Nice job.
You always wonder at the last minute, because Gorkys had a good look at the throw, right? He's staring right at it. If you start to wonder, wait a minute, I better get there a little more quickly. Here's Alan Hansen. Alan Hansen's having a nice night at shortstop. Made some nice plays.
He's getting a lot of work, and we were talking about Stratton making an adjustment mechanically. And those starts in the minor leagues, being able to kind of just stay behind that front shoulder. He's been getting a lot of ground balls, and Hansen's been the recipient of that.
0-2. Every once in a while I ask my kids, okay, who's your favorite Giants player? Just to refresh, see if it's changed. And recently I asked my son, and he said Alan Hansen.
A little reboot. Look at that.
I do think he runs so well. The dashes around the bases, the helmet flies off. He plays the game with a lot of enthusiasm, and he's just really fun to watch.
I mean, he smashed that double last night. We were kind of kidding around that it was the perfect wedge that he hit right out there. Ends up scoring, tying the game last night, and super excited when he got to second base.
Dunked one in there.
Hey, fish out of water. Anything works. Needs to do a job here, though, with Strat on deck.
Gorky's running, which not really a bad idea if you can get a good jump. Maybe see if you can get to third and create the easier RBI situation before the pitcher comes up. Because you're right, this is where being an 8th place hitter in a National League lineup is just not easy. You don't want to leave it up to Stratton. It's a little different with 1 out, where if the guy pitches around you, take your walk. Okay. That one right back to Matz. What a nice play. And he will lob to first for the out. That one off the bat, I thought, had a chance to be a hit.
And McNeil was playing right behind second base, too. If it was going to get by, McNeil was right there, but that ball was still smoked, and that's going to bring a meeting. Just talk things over here. He's already got 84 pitches going. As you see this hot shot up the middle, you see where McNeil was at, but a good job by Matt's checking. That's all the youngsters at home. That's what you do. Make sure you see that runner go back to second base before you throw the ball to first. Wonder what the meeting is. What do you think? You're facing the pitcher, get him out?
I always do wonder in these kind of spots. We had one the other night where there was a pitcher who basically only throws, I think it was Brad Ziegler, only throws a sinker, basically. Maybe every once in a while flips another something in there. We were just sort of, well, what could the conversation? I go with the sinker here when that's your only pitch. And Stratton has had a few hits this year. Paul Sewald, the right-hander, saw him in last night's game. And maybe just purely a meeting to stall for some time and let the relievers start to warm up. 0-2. Got him. So the double by Gorky Hernandez, second hit for the Giants, but they don't score. Middle 5, 2-0. Giants history. Fans, you get to pick the most memorable. Vote for tonight's matchup. Go to NBCSportsBayArea.com or on Twitter at NBCS Giants. Winner of this round will be announced on Giants Post-Game Live. All right, our contestants, Matt Cain's perfect game. You've seen that one many times against this one. You were there, 2010 NLCS, Game 6, strike 3 called. Brian Wilson against Ryan Howard. Tom Hallion punched him out, and the very first, at least the first memorable Buster hug, and a lot of other hugs in there as well. You remember that night pretty well?
I do.
That was one of my all-time favorite Giants memories. That game, that night, that inning, that at bat.
That was one of my favorites as well. The post-game party in the dugout, or in the locker room, I should say. And there's Buster right there. But I remember the team picture, and Brian Wilson has a cheesesteak, crushing it mid-photo. And I also remember getting punched in the face by Sean Dunson because he had never held the NL championship or trophy.
So he
went ahead and slugged me in the face so he could hold on to it.
There's Slater makes the catch for out number 1. That night the bullpen did great work, didn't it?
I'd say so.
And the bullpen was just about everybody. Affelt and Bumgarner, and yeah.
I mean, that guy may or may not have gotten the win, just saying.
In one of the most memorable games in San Francisco Giants history. And then to finish it out, Brian Wilson. He did make it interesting. That one popped up as well. Almost the same exact spot. Slater, 2 down. That's hard to do.
Uribe shooting Watson or Madsen to right field of all places.
Opposite field home run that turned out to be the difference.
Wow. What a night.
And Bruce Bochy, the bullpen was such a theme of that game because Bruce Bochy, without coming out and saying it, basically said it. We do not want to play Game 7. We want to do everything we could do to win Game 6.
Definitely.
And it worked. It was a great strategy. I remember the celebration in the clubhouse that you all had. I remember the celebration we had at the hotel in the lobby after that win. Every time I go by that hotel when we're in Philadelphia, that's what I think of.
And how conveniently they kind of shut it down early on us. That was great too.
Yeah, that was a little.
Oh, sorry guys, we're out of alcohol. This is a bar, right? Yeah, not anymore.
We ran out.
We're out.
I think there were some Phillies fans in charge. We managed to still have some more fun.
Oh yeah.
2 down, nobody on. Chris Stratton having his best night in a long time. It's good to see. This was the home run Javi's talking about.
Madsen was one of the best, if not the best, in opposite field. Just, and the big high five here by Torres coming up is my favorite part of the whole thing. When he gets to the dugout, he gets a good 2-handed high five.
Andres got him.
Oh yeah, it was great.
Andres could give a high five.
Heck yeah, you better watch out too. You better be ready for it. He'll snap your fingers off.
Still to this day, I saw him recently about to hug the life out of me. 1-2, Kevin Plawecki. Well, those are great memories. Andres is on post game tonight. Maybe he'll give a high five demo.
You have to, and you got to watch him because his outfits are amazing.
Might be the highlight of the show. Chris Stratton pitching well. 2-0 Giants. Rami 2016 National League wild card game in this ballpark. A great Giants memory. Connor Gillespie off Familia, who was one of the toughest to hit in the National League that year. And a scoreless game, no more. 3-run home run. That was the offense. Madison Bumgarner did the rest. Connor had some big hits, didn't he?
That was the most excited I've ever seen that man. It was awesome night. Awesome for him too. It was. He got quite a little shower after the game, and the whole time he was screaming, "It's so cold! It's so cold!" Well worth it though.
New pitcher here for the Mets when it's time for a change. Think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your trusted oil change, tune-up, and brake experts. Corey, not Roy Oswalt. 9 games, 8 starts, 2-2. Against the top of the order here, Steven Matz goes 5. Giants have a 2-0 lead. I was in the hallway today in the visiting clubhouse and thought of Connor Gillespie because he had done all the post-game stuff out on the field, and it took him a long time to get back in. I remember everybody waiting for him in the clubhouse. That one high and tight.
Come on.
McCutchen, that's happening to him a few times here lately. He might be getting tired of that.
I would think so. Just another. It's not like he's crowding the plate. That's up in the chin.
No good.
That's about as good a fastball as you're going to get out of him. And this guy's about 90-91. Curve, cutter, changeup. He's got the starter package.
McCutchen took a pretty big rip there.
See the fastball just get up and away from him. Nice job of McCutchen to get out of the way. That is dangerous territory up there.
Darno on deck. Longoria to follow. That one popped up. Behind second, McNeil. One away. I do believe Andrew was extra motivated to get a hit after that first pitch. Well, Connor, who had the hit against, it was Aroldis Chapman, right, in the next series against the Cubs after the home run against Familia. Chase Darno goes after the first pitch. Conforto, 2 down. Well, take the Giants on the go this season. Stream the games on NBCSportsBayArea.com and the NBC Sports app. Brought to you by your NorCal Honda dealers. The man who gave the Giants the lead, Evan Longoria, 13th home run of the year, back in the first inning. 3 batters in, the Giants led 2-0. Here we are in the 6th, and it's still 2-0. And I loved it. It was a 3-ball, no-strike count. He got the green light. He got exactly the pitch he was looking for, and he crushed it.
Let it fly.
The Giants need a lot more of that. Funny thing about this season has been the Giants started off the year on such a better home run pace, and that was a big goal in the offseason. Got to get more power, got to keep up. Last year the Giants were out homered by what, 80 overall for the year, which is just way too big of a deficit.
Just sounded so good.
It did. I thought it was a lot farther than the StatCast distance.
I got to give the dad the props making the catch. At least I think it was his wife and baby were right next to him. He just went in and caught it. Right, great catch.
He was the hero.
He was. I mean, stepping in, made the catch. Very well done.
So he hit one on 3-0. Can he hit one on 3-1 with 2 down and nobody on? Yeah, I think he will. Right back up the middle, kind of a squibber. And McNeil throws him out. Not this time for Evan Longoria. Middle of the 6th, still 2-0 Giants. presented by Cricket Wireless. This one always makes me smile. Terry Mulholland against Keith Hernandez here in Queens at the Old Shea Stadium, and sometimes you got to improvise. How about that one? Ball was stuck in the glove, couldn't get it out, so what do? Throw the glove with the ball in it over to Bob Brenly, and Keith Hernandez was out, so said Ed Montague, the umpire that night at first base. There's Keith.
Look at him.
Ron Darling, Gary Cohen, one of the great broadcast teams in baseball.
Yeah, they're great.
And Keith Hernandez, who is a Northern California native himself, was a great player.
Entertaining bunch over there.
Yes, not afraid to share an opinion or two. Jose Reyes against Chris Stratton. And that's strike one to the 8th place hitter with the pitcher spot due up next. Oswald has a bat. He's in the on deck circle, so it looks like he might hit. Kind of thing that happens after a 13-inning game, where even though the Mets are down 2-0, it's starting to get a little later in this game. We're in the 6th inning. They may not use a pinch hitter just because they might need some innings from their pitcher. 1-2. Well, Chris Stratton obviously is pitching much better here tonight.
Yeah, he's really throwing the ball well. He went down in the minor leagues, kind of worked on the mechanics, refined them a little bit with the minor league coaches down there, and some of the rovers that were rolling through town just trying to stay back behind that front shoulder, and he's really done a nice job doing that.
Oof. Just got a piece.
Yeah, you look at Stratton tonight. 16 of 17 first pitch strikes attacking. That's just when any pitcher will tell you it's easier to pitch when you're ahead in the count. But with Stratton stuff, with the curveball, even though he's not throwing it all that often, he hasn't had to. It's nice to know that you have that in your back pocket when you're up in the count.
That one bounced to second. Darno charges it, I think, very nicely to get that hop. That was a good play.
That was a tough hop. Nice play right there. Soft hands made a really difficult play look pretty easy. It's that tweener, but gets a good exchange. Strike the Slater, and one away with the pitcher up.
I've seen several Mets jerseys tonight with that last name on the back of it, Darno. Mets fans, Mets team, they miss Chase's brother. Travis, who is a good hitting catcher, just has had a terrible time staying healthy, and it's been a number of different things. This guy's had Tommy John surgery on his elbow, not as a pitcher but as a catcher.
Yeah, the injury bug, when it bites the Mets, it seems to bite them pretty hard. Yeah, when you look at David Wright and what's happened there, Darno.
Oh. Well, that was almost a big break for the Mets, but a kicked foul.
Yeah, Cespedes, Jay Bruce, and like you had mentioned earlier, or maybe it was John, just some of the pitchers, as well as the staff is throwing, they've missed a little bit of time.
One of you play-by-play guys said something that
there's
might
so many
be relevant.
these last few days.
We've had a few extras. Our thanks to Rich Waltz for being with us for a few days while I was away, while John was away. Now Kipe's away. 2-2. Got him to chase. 4th strikeout for Chris Stratton. 2 down here in the bottom of the 6th. Speaking of John, he's going to come back and join you in the 7th inning.
I told him that next time he's on assignment that he's supposed to make something from IKEA. He was telling a story about taking a free ferry over to get an IKEA some or other. I don't know. I lost track.
Wait, who was telling this story?
Exactly. John was.
John
said he took a free ferry.
John has never set foot in an IKEA.
That's what I said. And I said it's a rite of passage for anybody to try to put together something from IKEA. No. And he said he's never done it.
I have put together a lot of things from IKEA. Yes. John Miller has never touched the floor of an IKEA. He just wanted the ferry ride?
He wanted the free ferry ride, yes. And he wanted to see where the Queen Mary 2 was going to be parked this Sunday.
Once you take the ferry ride, you got to buy a jock mock or something like that, whatever they call all that stuff. Well, at least he's reading a few of the cards over there. Sometimes I go back and he hadn't read a single one. I'm like, John, what were you doing for 3 innings?
There's the assignment again.
Yep.
They are.
We need a big black magic marker on one forehead on, and on the other forehead assignment. McCutcheon for the catch. Chris Stratton really having a heck of a night. Enjoy, John. 2-0 Giants.
You're a dealer, and you look at it right there. Chris Stratton on cruise control, 71 pitches through 6 innings, and the Giants have been very efficient with the 2 hits that they've gotten. The main one being the first inning blast on 3-0 fastball by Evan Longoria, and Fleming being back, nobody wanted him to announce any runs being scored. So now John Miller has come back to take over those duties, and the Giants might score again.
Oh, Dave is great on ground balls and pop-ups.
Yes. He's got that nailed.
Can have a lot of ground balls and pop-ups. Dave's your man.
Uh-oh.
High in the air, shallow center. McNeil out. He wants it. And he's got it. 1 away.
The Diamondbacks will take on the Giants at AT&T Park on Monday the 27th through Wednesday the 29th. All 3 games are 7:15 starts. 3 special events will be happening during that series: Irish Heritage Night, Bruce Lee Tribute, and Jewish Heritage Night. Be sure to check out all the special events that Giants have coming on sfgiants.com/special events.
All right, Javier Lopez with a timely reminder. Here's Austin Slater against Oswalt. Ball 1. Slater has grounded out to second, flied out to center. Maybe you guys were talking about this. Oswalt, I remember Roy Oswalt, but he spelled it the same way, but pronounced it Oswalt. That's a fair ball right past third. He hits the outcropping, and here's Slater heading for second, and he makes it. He actually started to slow up, almost as if he thought, no way I could make it to second, but then when he actually looked at the play, he said, well, oh no, I can make it.
And he was doing that for dramatic effect. Just a hot shot down the line. Nice job by Brian O'Nor to get out of the way. And he's going with a couple buttons down. He's doing the Hunter Pence. 108 miles an hour off the bat. Letting the chest hair breathe a little bit. Got a man in scoring position for yet another guy who loves the look.
Yeah. And it's not just a good look for Slater. He seems to hit better with that look.
Hey, take another button down then if that's what it's going to take.
Hunter Pence has twice grounded out to short. Once in a very long at bat. He had 9 pitches before he succumbed in the second inning. And the curveball from Oswalt is too high for ball 1. Oswalt was a 7th round draft choice by the Mets out of UC Santa Barbara. He was a gaucho. Actually, he was committed to going there. But when the Mets drafted him, he's, oh, the heck with it. I'm going to sign with the Mets. He could have been a gaucho.
He got crossed up there. Plawecki kind of wondering. He's not going to go talk to him, though. He's asking him, you good? Yeah, it's a frustrated face there. That's very uncomfortable for a catcher.
What was that, a curveball?
He was expecting the express, and he got the loco. He got the curveball.
Slater at second, 1 out, 2-0 the count. Slater digging for third. Rosario throws out Pence. 2 down.
Now look at Hunter Pence doing it again. I think we're going to see this a few 50, 100 times in the next couple of days. That's how you do it. It's maybe not how you do it, but that's how he did it. Paying homage to Willie Mays.
Whatever works.
And out's an out.
Well, it was great.
Hey, as a pitcher, I don't care. I know that.
He caught it. He caught it.
Exactly.
Whatever. Here's Gorkis Hernandez, who hit a double his last time. Oh, caught it third by Reyes with a dive. Gorkis. Somebody call a cop. He just got robbed. Not happy about it either.
Is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Low fares, no hidden fees. That's transparency. By Heffernan Insurance Brokers. Insurance and financial services for you and your business. Visit hefins.com. By Xfinity. X1 will change the way you experience TV. And by Cresco. Your #1 choice for tool and equipment rental with 19 stores to serve you in Northern California.
Citi Field in New York. It's a windy night here in Flushing Meadows. For the Mets, it's Jeff McNeil to lead off. The Giants still leading 2-0. And that first pitch changeup to McNeil. You think he's kind of started adding in more changeups the last couple innings?
I think so. He's gone to the off-speed stuff, but more than anything, just getting strike one has been very important for him tonight.
And a high fastball is fouled back to the screen. 0-2. McNeil. Mets have 3 hits against him, and McNeil's got 2 of them, including a little flare into shallow left his last time. Bruce Bochy was talking about the state of his bullpen after the bullpen worked 8 innings here last night. That's a foul out of play off to the left. 0-2. But he said it's a given. Stratton needs to go deep into this game because the Giants really don't have anybody. He said if it was really an emergency, he thought he could maybe have Casey Kelly go if he was needed early in the game. Kelly's scheduled to start here tomorrow night. That's pulled foul. Still 0-2, but he's not only gotten them into the 7th inning so far. He has a very manageable pitch count. He's thrown only 71 pitches in the first 6 innings. He's allowed no runs and only 3 hits. This is what the Giants were hoping to see. I'm sure it's what he was hoping for.
Yeah, he's in command. He's in control of what's going on.
And there's that changeup. He just got a piece of it.
But you could sense it. You could see the body language, the confidence. You could see the aggressiveness in his mechanics and his delivery and his intention. Everything's going well. He wants to be out there, and that's what you want as a pitcher. As a starter, you want to go deep into the ballgame. You don't want to just go 5. You want to go 9.
0-2. Right up the middle. Well, he did not want that. Not an 0-2 count. And McNeil is 3 for 3.
It's one guy that seems to have figured him out.
Oh, it's another changeup away.
Yeah. Hey, just beat him to the spot. Good swing.
So here's Wilmer Flores, who had a pop-up and should have been caught, but wasn't. Went for a single in the first. He flied out to right his next time. And he yanks one foul. 0-1 the count. This marks the 2nd time in the game that McNeil has led off an inning, or any Met has led off an inning with a hit. McNeil ended up being thrown out trying to steal in the 4th inning after getting a leadoff single. 2-0 Giants. That's down the right field line. That's a base hit. McCutcheon cuts it off in the corner. McNeil coming to 3rd, and he's going to be held up by Sherlock, the coach. A double for Flores.
It's a good job by Hundley to come out here. Not so much that you need to settle him down, because that was still a well-executed pitch. Flores just being as hot as he's been puts enough barrel on it. And now Kurt Young's going to go out there and just talk about it. As you see Sam Dyson just now getting ready. Just trying to manage an inning here, get an out.
And for the first time, the Giants bullpen will go to work. Sam Dyson, a right-hander, has started to warm up in the bullpen now. There he is, number 49. Matt Hergis in the background, the bullpen coach. Now, the one thing in the favor of Stratton, the Mets have 5 hits in the game, and all 5 of them have been by the 2 guys who just got hits. Nobody else in the Mets lineup has had any hits. But they're in a spot now where they don't need a hit to get a run. A ground ball to second could do it. Fly ball could do it to get a run home. It's a high fly ball. Tagging at 3rd is McNeil. Pence in medium left field. Not a real strong arm. Throws into the cutoff man Longoria as McNeil scores. The Mets' first run. It's 2-1 Giants. RBI for Conforto. Flores held on at 2nd. So Austin Jackson comes up. He has grounded out to short and fouled out to 1st.
That really worked out well for Stratton. You'd want to strike out there, but you got a big power hitter just hit a fly ball to left field. Now, granted, Hunter didn't throw him out, but Flores also did not advance. So now you got a runner at 2nd base. Defense can play in their natural positions.
Back out of play.
And now you just got to manage the inning. Just get a couple more outs, leave it at the 1 run, and so be it.
Jose Bautista is on deck. The outfield is really bunched towards center. Pence is way over in left center. Way off the line. And that is a foul out of play. Strike two. Jackson, who's been so hot for the Mets, but is only 1 for 8 in this series. He had a single to center in the 8th inning last night against Mark Melancon. Here is Bautista on deck with Jackson at the plate. No balls, 2 strikes to count. And wastes one a little bit high, maybe a little bit off the outside.
Good try, change some eye level. He's got a good fastball tonight. But now when you go up like that, you can throw the breaking ball down in the dirt. Jackson's got chase. He has struck out a lot.
He's hit much better against right-handed pitching as a Met than as a Giant this year. In the dirt, blocked by Hundley, keeping Flores at second. Darno breaking to cover. And that ball hit the dirt.
One thing Stroud will give you is pitches. His last couple outings in AAA were 106 and 196 pitches, so he's being at 84. He's perfectly comfortable right now. He's not laboring by any means. He's had a very economical game so far.
And he's low with that fastball. And Jackson laid off. So the 0-2 count has become a 3-2 count. There's Bautista awaiting his turn on deck. 2-1 Giants in the 7th. And that's through. Longoria could not keep it on the infield. And here comes Flores. Pence heaves it home and he scores. And that enables Jackson to go to second. The possible go-ahead run is now in scoring position. The Mets have tied it.
Jackson gets the fastball down in the zone. Ends up leaking over the middle of the plate just a little bit. Hunter trying to make the play. You look at it here, trying to set up down and in with the fastball. Ends up leaking back over middle, just under the glove of Longoria, as you see it here. Somehow misses, actually kicks off his glove. Hunter comes in, tries to make the barehanded play, but in doing so, runner in scoring position now.
2-2. Runner at second, still only 1 out. Bautista coming up, and Dyson is heading in.
property of the San Francisco Giants and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the San Francisco Giants Baseball Club, LLC.
We're in the last of the 7th inning here at Citi Field. The Mets have scored twice in the inning against Chris Stratton and knocked him out of the box, and now the Giants make the pitching change. Dyson comes in. When it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your trusted oil change, tune-up, and brake experts.
Dyson coming on for the 61st time. Consistent arm out of that bullpen. Came in last night and had a big inning with a couple guys on. Rally, first and second, nobody out, got a double play. Kind of killed that rally, and looking to do the same against Bautista right here.
Bautista has grounded out to short and fouled out to first. This is the first time he's batted with a runner on base in this game. Oh man, he took a shot at launching one there, and the ball was right over the heart of the plate. Stratton looking on. He was having a great night, but it got away from him here in the 7th inning. An 0-2 single by McNeil. No ball, 2-strike count got it started. Ooh, whoa.
My goodness.
That is a strike.
Not sure what Whitson's looking at there. That is, Dyson's got that late action, two-seam action in sync as well, and that's tough right there. Should be an 0-2 count right now.
Two and one now. Jackson, who runs well, possible go-ahead run at second. Grounded foul. That one ran right in off the plate under the hands of Bautista. I guess if you're at the plate, that pitch looks like it's going to be right over the plate because it's got so much movement.
So much movement. Dyson, when he is right, that thing is nasty. Just dive bombing into these right-handed pitchers or hitters.
2-2 the count. 1 out. That was not a 2-strike hack right there. Attacking the ball. His average for the year is only 200.
Yeah, he's trying to do damage all the time, and he had a couple foul balls into the dugout yesterday. Just trying to keep the Giants awake over there.
He got 10 home runs and 260 at bats for the year. And that is all for him.
Nasty pitch. Nice job by Dyson to come in and get that. That's a big out. Just a dive bomb and change up. Starts off with a strike. See you later. Out of the zone. Bautista swinging way over the top. Back to the dugout he goes, but job's not done for Dyson. One more big out to get.
Plawecki 0 for 2. Strike one call. Plawecki Had one taken away from him by Hansen with a dive to his left back in the second inning. Very nice play. Then he struck out to end the fifth inning. And he's 0 for 2. 2-2 the score. Dyson trying to save the tie now. Lugo, a right-hander, is up in the Mets bullpen. Jackson, the runner at second. That one right out over the plate, but fouled straight back. Up a little bit.
Yeah, not the location you're looking for. That's one of those where you're thankful you're getting it back. See the face Hundley made at him. Just trying to get him to execute a little bit better here, especially when you're up in the count now. Wanted it down and away, up middle, and you see Hundley kind of just tell him, hey, let's go. If you're going to miss down or miss away.
But he says that with
the eyes. All it takes is the eyes. Yes, indeed.
And that ends the inning. So he comes in, gets 2 strikeouts, and strands Jackson at second base. But now it's tied. Hansen coming up in the 8th.
Brought to you by Staples, the back-to-school specialty store.
It's the Giants and Mets now tied at 2 as we head into the 8th inning from Citi Field in New York. Oswalt still in there for the Mets. Corey Oswalt, who making only his second relief appearance. He had made 8 starts for the Mets this year. And he's a guy, and Javier, you and Dave may have been pointing this out when he first came in. He's given up a lot of home runs this year. He'd average a home run every 4 innings pitched coming into this game.
We didn't want to discuss it too much.
There's a foul out of play by Hansen, who's batting from his strong side, the side where he's most likely to hit a home run. He has not hit any batting right-handed. He is flied out to right center and hit a comebacker in this game, both batting right-handed. Brandon Crawford is out on deck. That is a foul out of play. Strike 2. The pitcher, Dyson Dew, up next. Crawford getting ready to pinch hit. And there is Tony Watson getting ready in the bullpen. Two strikes to count. High and tight. Chris Stratton went 6 1/3, got charged with 2 runs and 6 hits, 4 strikeouts, no walks, and he threw 86 pitches. That's up the middle and handled nicely by Rosario, and Hanser really is into the whole head-first dive at first base, even though it's been shown to actually slow you down. He's got such spectacular speed, you'd like to see him just run through the bag and see what happens sometime.
That was a great play. Being able to execute that, keep it in front, get a speedy runner, and it's a big first out. I thought for a second there, I was a base hit up the middle.
Brandon Crawford pinch hitting for Sam Dyson. 0-1. Crawford had a single and a walk last night. He was officially 1 hit, 5 at bats. Hit the pop up that ended up producing what was the winning run in the 13th inning. Who knew when he hit it how productive a pop up that would be?
Put the pressure on the defense, John. Always put the pressure on the defense.
Yeah. And even then, who knew how much pressure it would be for the Mets when he hit it? Rosario.
Certainly not Rosario.
He was camped under it. And that's all for Brandon Crawford. 2 down. Oswald gets his first strikeout. There has not been anything even remotely that looked like a home run off the bat since Oswald came into this game. He did allowed 11 home runs in 45 1/3 innings before tonight.
Well, you know this guy wants one. He's buzzed the tower the first time he came in, and that it got McCutchen just hit a pop up.
McCutchen has been buzzed a couple of times tonight.
Yeah.
I mean, just hit the deck 2 different times. Once in the first inning by the starting pitcher Matz, and then once by Oswald in the 6th inning. Change up in the dirt.
He gets an opportunity here. You know he's going to try to go bridge. Take out some of that frustration. Maybe not that bridge, but that'd be impressive.
Yeah, you can go bridge literally in this ballpark.
Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Big swing there, big cut. Still in a hitter's count. See if he gets challenged again. No.
It's almost like he's kind of pitching around him here. Darno is on deck. Mets have the guy who's been their closer lately, Seth Lugo, warming up in the bullpen. 2-2, 8th inning. He's staying with that soft one. 84 miles an hour. There's Lugo, number 67. With the bullpen coach, Ricky Bonas, alongside. Giants have only 3 hits in this game. The 2-run homer by Longoria in the first inning, the big one. Shallow center and caught by Austin Jackson. That's 3 shutout innings by Oswald. 2-2. Monday at AT&T Park, the start of a 3-game series. And Monday will be Irish Heritage Night. There's a special event package including your ticket for the Giants D-backs game and also an Irish-themed Giants expandable backpack. Go to sfgiants.com/special events for tickets. Giants D-backs 3-game series starting Monday. Changes for the Giants including a pitching change. When it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your trusted oil change, tune-up, and brake experts. And it's Tony Watson. Jose Reyes leads off against him. Crawford, who pinch hit for Dyson, stays in to play short. And Alan Hansen moves from short over to second. So Darno is out. Watson will be scheduled to lead off in the 9th inning. But they just want him for the 1 inning.
Had a great inning yesterday. He got that first quick out, gave up 2 back-to-back hits, and then was able to get Rosario to hit into a 6-4-3 to get out of it. Great job of pitching and a great turn by the middle infielders to get him out of that inning.
The Mets pitcher Oswalt due up next. That ball is hit well. Deep left center field. Hernandez. No. And Reyes is going for third. And he makes it easily. A triple. Gorkis went for the great catch. And it just wasn't quite in the spot where the ball hit.
Looks like it's the fastball away, and it hits off of Gorky's glove. Almost gets it into the webbing. Does not. Hunter's there, wants to relay, but Gorky just go ahead and flips it by him. Almost makes a spectacular catch. Now it's going to take some nifty pitching here from Tony Watson to get out of this as Todd Frazier steps to the plate.
Jose Reyes with a leadoff triple. His second triple this year. The infield comes in for Todd Frazier, the pinch hitter for Oswalt. One ball and no strikes. Frazier hitting only .229. Very powerful. High in the air. Shallow right center. McCutchen after a long run. Reyes tagging up at third. McCutchen throws into the plate. Watson backing up. One away.
Well, Xfinity X1 customers today, show me the San Francisco Giants in your X1 voice remote and get live stats on your TV. Change the way you experience TV with Xfinity X1.
Now the leadoff man Rosario comes up. So if you think that maybe they might try a suicide squeeze, is there anything that you want to be looking for just in case?
Well, I think this is where you want to bounce something. If you're going to do that, you test it right here with a bad pitch, throw it out of the zone.
Broken bat. Foul ball.
But you do have a lot of speed out there. You know, Ron Wotus is talking to the infielders, kind of seeing what's going on, checking out Glenn Sherlock as he shuffles through the signs.
Rosario is 0 for 3 in this game. Has struck out and twice hit fly balls to the outfield.
They're probably going to try to jam you here. Rosario tries to cover away really well.
Back to the screen. Left that one out over the plate.
But he found it back. Yeah, good pitch. He's diving. Normally in this situation, you got a lefty with that low 3/4 release. He's going to try to work that sink away, get that changeup going. He's trying to jam these righties in. It does come back a little bit, but now you got some chase. 0-2, something back foot or something up.
Back to the screen again.
And that's the one you want under the hands. He leaves it up over the plate. I think if Watson could take that one back, he would. He wants it back underneath the hands. Make Rosario uncomfortable up there. Too good a swing, 0-2.
Two to 2 score, 8th inning. Struck him out.
That was an absolute clinic in pitching right there. Great at bat. Finishes back foot, goes exactly where Nick Hundley wants it. Trying to protect away, tries to get the RBI. Now you got the lefty-lefty matchup, although it's been a very hot Mr. McNeil here. I like the matchup.
McNeil 3 for 3 in the game. Line drive down the left field line, a base hit and likely extra bases. So Reyes is in to score. A double and the 4th hit of the game for McNeil. 3-2 Mets. Ahead for the first time all night.
He wasted no time, got the fastball, hit it where it's pitched, sent it out in the left field. Trying to get down and in, leaves it up middle. And McNeil not doing much of anything, just trying to put some barrel on it. Does exactly that, hits it down the line. Easy extra bases with his speed, but the bigger problem is the RBI. Giants now trail.
Michael Conforto coming up now as Hundley out to have a visit.
Well, MLB At Bat is your #1 Giants app. Customize your experience to catch every moment this season. Get Giants home screen icons and features such as MLB.TV Game of the Day, pitch tracking, in-game highlights, live radio broadcasts, stats, news, and more. Download MLB At Bat today.
Left center field, hit well. Pence looks up. And that one is gone. A home run. And now it's a big inning, and the Mets have opened it up here in the 8th inning. It is 5-2 New York. So Flores, and I beg your pardon, with the automatic walk to Flores, that is a 3-run homer, 6-2. They're scoring him so fast here. My calculator is a little bit backlogged. So a 4-run inning for the Mets.
And it was just like last night for Watson facing the 2 lefties. They're not wasting any time. Swung at the first 2 pitches last night, did the same thing to him tonight.
Watson, who has been so good all year long for the Giants, except against the Pirates. But tonight, the Mets put up a big inning against him. He had a 16-pitch 7th inning last night as Hunter Strickland gets ready in the bullpen. This has all happened so quickly. So only 14 pitches in the inning.
And only 2 balls.
So Conforto just got his first hit. Lugo heating up in the bullpen. Although it's no longer a save situation. 6-2 Mets. Austin Jackson, he knocked in the tying run with a base hit in the 7th inning. McCutchen in right center. And the nightmarish inning is over. The Giants are down by 4. Baseball brought to you by T-Mobile. And this was back in the 3rd inning, and the catch by Hunter Pence, evocative of one of the most famous catches in World Series history, maybe the greatest catch in World Series history, made by Willie Mays with his back to the infield, the hat flying off, and Hunter Pence had to sort of relive it with all of his teammates in the dugout. Ahmed Fareed on Twitter made the picture comparison as Seth Lugo comes in for the bullpen and throws a called strike to pinch hitter Steven Duggar batting for Watson. We're in New York. There's a Willie Mays fan.
Seth Lugo, you're going to see the mid-90s fastball. He's got starter stuff, so you're going to see a change slider in the curve. Curve's a big pitch for him.
Pitching change for the Mets. Lugo coming in when it's time for a change. Think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your trusted oil change, tune-up, and brake experts.
And you see it there. The lefty's hitting 188 off him. That changeup really comes into play, or the curveball comes into play. There it is.
Oop, he didn't get the call. Wow.
And Giants will take it.
Sometimes you think an umpire gets fooled on a curveball just like a hitter?
Yep. I think they guess sometimes as to what's coming.
Back to the screen on the high fastball. When I say high fastball, about belt high on that one. Duggar, 259 for the year. Longoria is on deck. The Giants need a lot of base runners now, trailing by 4 runs. The Mets not only went ahead, they went way past that. 3-run homer by Conforto. Back out of play. That great catch by Willie Mays. Vic Wertz hit that ball. The Cleveland Indians in the '54 World Series were heavily favored. Nobody favored the Giants to win that World Series. Cleveland had won 111 games, which was the all-time American League record at that time. And Flores gets the unassisted putout. 1 away. But a lot of people thought the Mays catch was the turning point in that World Series, even though it came in Game 1. Coming up, be sure and stay tuned for Letters to 87, a special tribute to 49ers legend Dwight Clark, presented by Toyota. Special tribute to Dwight Clark, featuring letters from fans reflecting on the catch. The great catch, the greatest in 49ers history, where he seemed to defy gravity to catch a pass in the end zone. Tonight after post-game live on NBC Sports Bay Area. It includes the letter writers as well as Joe Montana, Ronnie Lott, Eddie DeBartolo, and Keena Turner. And it's presented commercial-free by Toyota. You don't want to miss it. Letters to 87 after Giants post-game live on NBC Sports Bay Area. Evan Longoria knocked in 2 runs in the very first inning for the Giants, and they have not scored since. 1-2 the count to him. That's a base hit to center field. Second hit for Longoria.
Good job staying back on that breaking ball. Not trying to do too much with it. Giants just need base runners, just trying to find a way to keep the line moving.
Nick Hundley has struck out, hit a comebacker, and popped up to second. On 1. Lugo. Familia had been the Mets closer. Of course, he got traded. Is now with the Oakland Athletics. In fact, I think that trade was consummated while the Giants were playing in Oakland in interleague play right after the All-Star break.
You're right.
Made his Oakland debut against the Giants.
Yeah, the last day, right?
Lugo has made 5 starts this year. This is his 38th relief appearance. Giants have a base runner, and they need a few more here, down by 4 runs. Slater on deck. Right back to the screen.
Tried to four-seam him there. He throws a sinker as well, and he gets good run arm side with that. And now that he's a closer, he can just kind of let it fly. Like I said, the velocity is going to go up a tick or two. But that's all to set up this pitch right here, the breaking ball.
Pulled foul. Well, the Giants bullpen was stellar last night. 8 innings of shutout pitching. 6 different relievers: Dyson, Watson, Melanson, Smith, Maranta, Derek Law. But tonight, Tony Watson gets hit hard. There's a swinging strike 3.
That curveball is just so nasty, hard to lay off of. Looks like a strike almost the entire way, then just falls right out of the zone. Good 12-6 action, just buries it down and away. Not much Hundley can do there.
Two down. Here's Slater. Tomorrow night, Casey Kelly scheduled to make the start for the Giants versus Noah Syndergaard. There goes Longoria. They were not holding against him. Strike 1 to Slater, as Longoria is now at second due to the Mets' indifference. Giants with only 4 hits in this game. Last night they had 8 hits in 13 innings and 2 runs, which was just enough to win. 2 runs tonight, and that's in there for a called strike. Slater, who hit a double in the 7th inning, hit it very hard too down the left field line, is 1 for 3 in the game. 24,989, the official paid crowd here at Citi Field, and everybody's standing now. Along the right field line, Bautista on the run. No! Off his glove. Coming in to score, Longoria. And the game stays alive. 6-3 Mets. The Giants stay alive.
Slater kind of slicing that one away. Probably had a little too much English on there for Bautista. Unable to corral it. See him tracking it here. Hits off the pinky on the glove, and the Giants will take it. You just want to find a way to keep the line moving.
So now Pence, Brandon Belt out on deck. And that's called a strike.
Real good curveball to get ahead in the count on Hunter Pence, who's fastball hunting right now.
Pence is 0 for 3. 3 straight times has grounded out to short. Blocked by Plawecki, the catcher. Single and a run batted in for Slater. That was the official scorer's ruling. And that's too low. Just barely. 2-1 the count. If Pence could get aboard, Brandon Bell would come up as the possible tying run. Now they're down to their final strike. Giants would love to get that possible tying run to the plate, though.
Any way possible.
Slater at first. He runs, and that is low and outside.
Great take, being able to lay off that pitch right there. That's nasty. That's the out pitch, the big breaking ball. Wouldn't be surprised if you see it again.
3-2. And he was right there, McNeil. And the Mets take game 2 from the Giants. 6-3, scoring all of their runs in their last 2 at bats, including 4 in the 8th inning to break the tie. And the Mets and Giants are now even at a game apiece.
Yeah, I thought Stratton threw the ball so well tonight. And the Giants did what they needed to do at first. They got on Matz. Matz has trouble getting out of that first inning, but they just were not able to add on after that and let him kind of get into a rhythm. And then really give credit to Oswalt, being able to come in through 3 innings of just 1-hit ball. Did his job, and it's been difficult for the Mets, or the Giants, to score on these Mets.
So Oswalt gets the win. Watson takes the loss. 2 games to go here in New York. The final, Mets 6, Giants 3. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm John Miller with Javier Lopez and Dave Fleming. Now stay tuned for Giants postgame live presented by Toyota Now.